Welcome to another episode of our podcast.
Today we're joined by our special friend, Randy. Yay!
Yay!
Randy.
Hello.
Welcome, Randy.
Welcome, Randy. Randy, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name's Randy. I'm 27, and I'm currently working as a software developer, and I like to play a lot of games.
Same, dude. Same.
What games do you like? What games do you like to play?
I mean, I have I'm not really too picky. I like a lot of genres, like RPGs, FPS.
For all the people that don't know what those stand for,
Oh,
Randy, would you like to
yes.
I'm sitting here like,
Right.
Can we zoom in on
Right. For people who don't know, RPG stands for role-playing games. So you're usually like taking control of like a certain character in like a story, or like maybe sort of
Like, what's an example of a game? Like, can you name one?
right.
That would be
Okay. Right. I'd say like Final Fantasy is a pretty good example of a role-playing game, having like a party of members, and then FPS, first-person shooter. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, things like Call of Duty or any sort of like shooting games. So.
Catherine, you play like Pokemon stuff, right? What?
I was not a Pokemon
no.
kid. I played Hamtaro.
Oh, right, you played Hamtaro, right? The same game. We played that too.
Yes.
That would be like what? Day of the Life.
Hamtaro? Yeah, what would that be?
What kind of game genre is that?
I mean, it could be like an adventure game. if it's
Adventure
like-
game,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Cartoon game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. How was your week? Who wants to start? Catherine, how was your week?
Oh boy, what did I do? Oh, I went to spin class for the first time in a very long time, and I died
Like physically?
physically and emotionally.
Oh no.
It was really fun. Like, it's a super good workout, but it's just like, oh my god, your knees. I don't know if anyone else in that class was like dying because of their knees, but I was like, my knees are dying.
When was the last time you did it?
Maybe I did one last summer. It was outdoors.
Oh.
That was really nice.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been like at least, how many months has it been since summer?
You know what's funny? When I was in high school, when there's a class I went to, spin class, and I was like, I didn't know what that was when I was younger. I literally thought the spin class was like them learning how to spin.
Spin
That's
around.
exactly what I'm thinking right now. I have
Wait, you
no
know what
idea
it
what
is?
that means. No.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
don't.
it's like spin bikes,
I
like a stationary bike.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
okay.
you just like
So Catherine doesn't play
I
games,
see.
and Randy doesn't exercise.
Yes, it's perfect.
yeah, and so you
You
just
can
like
educate
it's like
me.
for like 50 minutes, and you do like certain routines.
50.
50,
Oh, he said
50.
15. I was like, oh.
Oh no, yeah, and then you do like little like weights. There's like a weight section too, and
Okay.
it's fun. It's a good time.
I would die. I think my knees would die. I
Yeah.
have really bad knees. Randy has really
Yep.
bad knees too.
So we'd all
Yep.
die.
Randy's knees crack really loud.
They do.
Weak knees. No one's gonna finish
It's
that?
not fun. It's not fun.
No? Okay.
No.
Randy, how was your week?
How was my week? Honestly, I didn't do too much. I worked pretty much most of the day. I mean, everyone else is too, but
Get
pretty
ready,
much
kids.
just
This is gonna be your
fixing
life.
stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much my life. I'm just staying inside most of the time, working from home.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's
pretty
not
nice.
bad. It's not bad.
Is it weird though? Like when I work from home, I have to like put my stuff in like a different room, and like, what do you usually just do in your room?
I just use my own room. I should probably not work in my own room because I get distracted really easily. But there's not really anywhere else I can be in the house. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
limited space is a factor.
I would get very distracted. But like, luckily, like like in my gaming setup is literally the living room, so like I guess I
Right.
can't really get too distracted. But I worked from home for like 3 months, and it was the worst thing ever. I was so easily
Really?
distracted,
Mhm.
and like I mean, everything was on Zoom, so that wasn't enough fun.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I also worked at home for a month.
Oh,
And
really?
How was that?
Yeah.
Like
Did I
for
tell
like,
you about that contact tracing job?
oh yeah, you did.
And I was
Hmm.
also, it was in a separate room, like upstairs, but I was also very distracted. It doesn't help that your like kitchen is like right there.
Just go up and get a snack at any
I'm so
time.
hungry. I'm snack.
I've like heard, like I've seen like Instagrams and TikToks of people like being like, I want to go to the washroom quickly, and then they were going to the washroom and they come back. It's like, hello. They had to like turn on the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like people like working from home with their cameras off, so they don't like put any makeup on or get ready, and then they're like, can you please turn your cameras on?
You're
Like,
Yikes.
so for my school, they made us dress up every day.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
you had to be on like on video. At all
Yeah.
times?
At least you could just
Okay.
just from the
Okay, the
top
thing
up,
is,
right?
you know what
Like
I'm
you could-
salty about, and whoever my colleagues are, you know who you are. So we were told to like dress up like completely, and so I stuck to that because whatever, like if I had to stand up, they'll see my shorts or whatever. And so I mean, in choir, I would get them to do exercises, like so like I did
Okay.
got them to like stretch and everything. But I remember like we were doing parent teacher interviews, and then I was like literally dressed up, like full dressed up, and then all my colleagues started saying how, oh yeah, I just wore like my like sweatpants, and I'm like, oh. How dare you?
You're just dedicated, Josh.
I'm a very
That's
dedicated
fine.
teacher. I gotta look the part or else I'll look just like them.
So, Josh, how was your week?
My week is good. I'm on spring break right now. Woot. So I get 2 weeks off. But last week, I got a really cool opportunity to do some background work for a TV show. And I was a samurai. I'm gonna actually, Kat, I'm gonna show you the photo right now.
So
I
And
haven't seen that.
So it was really cool because, okay, when you look at this photo, it's gonna be weird because I look like Daniel. Here you go. For
crazy.
So
legal
pretty
purposes, I
crazy.
can't show those on the internet, but
You
uh, do I look like
Yeah,
Daniel,
no,
right?
That's really weird.
So they
Yeah.
gave me a bald cap. They gave me like a headpiece, and like so like all the kimonos and all those things were like traditional. So they actually I had to go in one day to do a wardrobe
It's actually
fitting.
really cool.
It was so cool. It took like an hour and a half to put everything on, but they hired like
impressive.
Japanese workers to like help us with it, and they were like so particular with everything. But it was such a cool set because like everything seems so like authentic in some way, you know, like, and they had Japanese workers on set, like going like, oh, be careful, make sure you stand like this or sit like this, or your posture has to be this, your knee has to be this angle or whatever.
Wow.
And they would have translators just like telling us to like look more proper in some ways. It was a lot of fun. I was there for 12 hours, but it like
12
was
hours.
like kind of like refreshing, I guess, like other than like going to work at school and seeing like actors act and all those things was so fascinating to me. So that was really fun, and I hope I can do it because I really want to do Avatar,
Oh my gosh.
The Last Airbender. They're doing live
Oh my
action in
gosh.
Vancouver.
Really?
How do
And
we
I'm
sign up?
I really
What? Okay, what nation would you want to be a part of?
I would love to be part of the Water Nation, but
Yeah.
I feel like they would put me in fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'd like to be in fire. I think. What
How
about
about you,
Randy?
Randy?
I don't really watch Avatar, but I kind of know.
You didn't
a
watch
little bit.
Avatar?
No, I didn't. I
Okay,
know,
Randy's
I
leaving.
know, I know, I know.
Kick him out of the Bye.
Everyone's gonna, yeah. I mean, yeah, I've heard about it.
I'm really
People really
shocked.
like it.
I'm trying to think of what I could picture him as.
I think he seems Earth.
I was gonna say Earth.
He's very
Earth.
chill.
He's very earthy.
Okay, Randy, you need to watch it. Dan and I watched
Okay.
it like 2 years ago again, and
Like
because
the
we were-
whole-
the whole thing again.
Really?
But because we
Okay.
were older, we like I think could appreciate it better. It's a very good series.
I see.
How dare you? I'm
Dude,
Are you really Asian?
you know, at some point, we didn't really have like cable TV.
Media.
Well, okay, I guess I just never really watched TV at some point. I
We
just stopped
downloaded it
watching
very
it.
legally.
You mean legally?
Legal, very.
It was legal.
It's on Netflix. I can give you my Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's
account.
on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I have some catching up to do. I guess. I
Dude,
don't know.
yes, there's 2 series now. There's the Legend of Korra. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard about
Yeah.
it.
So Randy has homework. We give you. I'm his teacher.
Oh, man.
Randy have homework.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into our topics today, I want to talk a little bit about how we met. So I don't know if you remember, Randy, but back in the
Right.
day, we used to go to Chinese school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I knew of Randy's existence as like the kid in another class. That's how I remembered you. I didn't know that you and your sister were related.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember suddenly Randy just like appeared at church.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Right.
hey, you go to Chinese school. Who is this kid? And then, I vividly remember being friends with Randy because Randy played the same game that I played that no one else cared about but me.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy was also a fan of that game. And I was like, my brethren.
Wait, what game was this?
You remember that?
Yeah, this game is called Tales of Symphonia.
Ah.
Role-playing game, as I said before, Really like those games. I actually, basically, I had just moved to, like, the area that was close to the church.
Oh.
And then I actually just started playing that game when I moved, which is really funny. And then that's when I met you.
What's funny is that, so I played that game. I beat it probably, like, more than 10 times. And I played it for 2 years straight. Like, I played it again and again and again. And styles of them, my brother and my friends were just like, you're such a nerd. And then I met Randy, and Randy was like liking the game. I'm like, please.
It's such a good game.
Embrace me.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, it's like I just haven't played a game like that in a while, too. So it's like nice to have someone to talk about. Talk like the game about. So
it was very nice.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That's sweet. Oh.
So that's how Randy and I met, and then I think throughout high school and university, we just kind of played games together.
Mm-hmm.
I would come home. I mean, this is more like later high school, university, and I'd be like, "Hey, Randy, want a game?" And we would game and Skype for like hours.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
We like you would see, and okay, Skype was also a thing back then, and then like Randy and I would like play for like 4 hours.
We played for so long.
We played a lot of games.
Like the whole day, pretty much. I had nothing else to do, to be honest. So.
And I also I think about that because like we play so many video games and we still got our homework done. Kids.
Very good.
Sorry.
Very good.
Salty. And then I guess Catherine and Randy, you guys met
through choir.
Yeah.
The choir.
The choir. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever see him at Fellowship before? I think you
even
did.
Even a dive?
A few times.
I think actually, yeah. And then choir. And then we worked together for like a brief moment.
Yeah.
And then he left.
It was a really brief moment.
And then he left.
And I left.
Wait, Catherine, can you share? I remember you were telling me when you found out Randy works there. You had an interaction that you shared. Do you remember that?
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, what?
This is what I remember.
I can only imagine what this is.
So Catherine said hi to Randy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know she was working there either, I don't think. So I was like, who is this? I'm like,
I was like, I think I said hi. I was like, hey, Randy. And then I figured you didn't recognize me because of the mask. Because you were just like, hey. And then you walked off, and I was like, oh.
You guys were literally in choir for like years. When did you join choir? 2012?
I don't remember.
You joined after Christina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were in choir for like 5 years together.
But with no masks. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, people look so different with their
see
mask on or off.
That's true. But like, how would she know your name?
Yeah, I know. That's why I got confused. I was like, who is this? And I'm like,
who's this short Asian
creepy girl just like knew your name.
Yeah, and then I just felt so bad after, like, at the end of the day. I'm like, wait, that was Catherine, right? I'm like, oh my God.
That's fine. I figured you didn't recognize
Yeah,
me.
I mean, I'm really bad at, like, recognizing people I know in, like, public spaces. I will just, like,
that's fair.
Not know who this person is.
Okay, well, also, Randy, you're kind of blind.
Yep, that's true.
Could you just like not see me?
I mean,
just a blur.
Maybe. I don't
just
know.
a blob.
I don't think so. I don't think my eyesight's that bad.
It's pretty bad, dude.
I mean, it's bad now.
I remember in Chinese school, you couldn't see the board sometimes.
Yeah. It's getting worse, but
yeah,
I need to get my eyes checked.
Wait, do you not wear glass? Do you wear contacts?
I do wear glasses. I have them right here, but I don't. They're not like prescribed, like that. I have to wear them all the time or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. You should get your eyes checked, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, LASIK.
Yep.
Okay, LASIK. That's how we met. Yeah. Fun. Okay. Hey everyone. We hope you've been enjoying our episode so far. If you would like to see more of us, you can follow us on other social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at RiceWashed Podcast. So make sure you come and follow us and check us out. So today I thought I want to talk a little bit about high school because I honestly don't know what Randy was like in high school. I just know one story that I want to share later.
Okay.
But like, why don't we go around and just like talk about how we kind of were in high school, and then we can talk a little bit about like maybe our experiences in high school and whatnot. Catherine, you want to say?
What was I like in high school?
Who was I?
Who was I? I feel like high school is like one of those like awkward years where you're just like trying to figure out like who you are and like what you like and everything. So it's just like a little bit, everything's a little bit awkward. I'm going to talk about, I guess, high school here. So I moved in grade 10. So I feel like it was right in the middle of like everyone's found their like friend group and stuff. So it was weird for me, like trying to like fit into all the like friend groups and stuff. Once I found people, it was fine. Generally, I like coasted through high school pretty well. I think there was never any like problems.
So like, if you were to like put yourself under a clique, although I hate labels, what would you say you were?
Clique.
Yeah.
Clique.
Click.
I say clique.
Oh, I say cliques.
Oh. Well, I was in band, so the only thing I can think of is a band geek.
Oh, we did. We were pretty proud of that label, to be honest.
Yeah, we were always in the band room too.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that I would fall under.
Yeah, I say
the Asians. I don't know.
The Asian.
My friend group wasn't super like Asian though. We were a good mix.
We were a really good mix. Yeah.
Yeah, but generally, I don't know. Just coasted through high school. I have no complaints. It was fun. Yeah.
Randy, how about you?
My high school was not that great. I think, like, to what you're saying, like, high school is kind of a time where you're, like, kind of really awkward, and you're trying to figure out who you are. For me, high school was kind of interesting because I had moved back. Well, essentially, I went to a high school that was pretty, I would say there was, like, not many Asians there. It was, like, only international students were Asian, so I was kind of felt like I was a little bit, like, left out in that sense. And so, like, I didn't really fit in with people that well, but I did have, like, sort of a small friend group that I was hung out with, and I don't know, I always did pretty well in, like, school in terms of, like, studies, like, average, like, pretty studious, always got my work done, had, like, pretty decent grades until, like, probably my later years when I, like, played too many games, and so my grades started to drop a little bit. I almost, like, failed to graduate, because...
I didn't know that!
Randy!
Yeah, I almost did. Okay. So, this was, it was, like, grade 12. I had to take, like, English 12, right?
Wait, okay, did you do it online?
I did it online.
Oh, there it is.
Josh was like, oh, yeah, you can... It's not your fault. It's 100% my fault. He's like, you can do it online. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then I decided to do it online. And I'm just like, I just could not get myself to do the work. And then I had, like, 40%. I'm like, it's not that I'm bad at English. I'm actually, like, I would say I'm, like, pretty good at, like, writing and stuff. I'm just really, really lazy sometimes. And I can procrastinate, especially, like, this is my first time doing, like, schoolwork online, so like I just didn't hand stuff in and just like totally forgot about it. But yeah, eventually like I actually made it through by like 1%.
You graduated with 51%.
And I'm pretty sure it was like the exam that carried me because it was like most of the mark. But
I can see how English would be one of those classes where you'd be like, "Oops, I forgot."
Yeah. Okay, so like Wait, okay, before I share. So, like, I guess, what were you saying in terms of cliques? Were you ever part of one, or you kind of just pretty chill?
No. I mean...
Did your high school have a lot of cliques?
Yeah, they all... I mean, you have your, like, groups that you always have in, like, high school. There's, like, always a group of, like, popular kids, and then, like, the jocks who were always sort of, like, blended in with, like, popular kids. And then you'd have, like, the band and, like, drama theater kids, as they always called it. Those people always hung out together, and they were, like, usually, like, pretty smart, like, academic, like, honors kids. I was sort of, like, I don't know. I feel like I never really fit anywhere too well. I was sort of just stuck with my own sort of group of friends. And
the alternative group.
Yeah, kind of.
Group.
Really quiet.
It's funny when you were talking about English 12 because I also did it online and I also did it last minute.
I didn't know this was an option.
Okay.
What?
So I also did Planning 10 online. Do you remember
Planning 10?
Yeah. And I did it all in one day.
That'd be a good course to do online.
I mean, yeah.
I woke up super early. I remember it was like a Saturday. It was definitely a holiday because we didn't have Chinese school. I sat down, all my assignments finished.
Wait, you didn't get to do the flower baby then? So you missed the flower baby.
Our grade old high school, they used to do something called the flower baby. I can't really explain. I didn't do it. So can you explain?
Yeah,
a little bit?
It was just a section of this Planning 10 course. It was just I guess they're getting you to take responsibility of taking care of something. So they literally give you a sack of
sack of flab.
Bubble tea. So they literally give you a sack of flour that big. And you wrap it in duct tape, and you print out a picture of a baby, and you get to name it, and you have to carry it around with you for a week, everywhere, to prove that you can take care of a child.
But the funniest thing though to me was I saw so many people just huck the baby across the field or around the gym,
shove it in the locker,
and the babies just explode
everywhere.
Yeah.
So then for me, how do they go back? How do they bring the baby back?
I guess you could just get another bag of flour, because I don't think the teacher had to initial it or anything. It was so annoying.
Just get a new baby.
I remember when I was in grade 9, I think I was just this is dumb. So that's why I did it online. I didn't want to deal with the flower baby, and I also thought planning was a dumb course to waste time on. So I just did it online, but I did it to the point where I had to finish. You had to finish it during a school year, I believe, and I finished it really close to the end of the school year. So I just kind of procrastinated, and that was already okay, Josh, you can't do online courses. This is bad. But then I did English 12, and it was really annoying because I had 3 different teachers, and they all marked differently. So whenever I handed in an assignment, some of them would be A, some would be C. And I was wow.
Weird,
so
you had
really
3 different teachers.
Yeah, I guess because they just mark all the online stuff, I guess. But it was so stupid. I thought it was so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of resonate with Catherine. I think I was one of the band geeks as well, but we were but the good thing about the band geeks was we weren't just musicians or athletes, or we were kind of a mix of everything.
Yeah, we were all music kids, but we also had other things apart from that as well. We had all the qualities. We were pretty well rounded, I guess.
Yeah, and I wasn't I was in all the honors classes, but I wasn't the smartest. So I would always be kind of in the middle of the group, and this is when they used to post the marks on the wall.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
do you have that?
No.
Okay,
why
so
did they
used
do
to.
that?
I should think about how that's really.
Is that just honors?
No, everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Every
they
class.
would post all the grades on a piece of paper, and then you just remember your student number.
Oh wait, okay, yeah, we only had that for some classes, I think.
Okay.
It was
now that I think about it, ooh,
that sounds horrible.
Maybe I should do that. Okay. But the thing is, I was never really the smartest in my classes, which is fine. I did well. I got A's, whatever, the Asian pass. But the best part, the most satisfying part about it was once in a while I would beat the top students, and they all memorize each other's numbers. So I remember sometimes I would do really well on the test or better than someone on the test, and then they'd be who the heck is 304139? That's my number. And I'll be because they're trying to compete against each other, and there's just chilling, whatever, I don't care. And so that was very satisfying. But I would say generally, I don't think I was really I also didn't really think I was a musician during high school. You know what I mean? I wasn't really music is my life.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't academics wasn't, sports clearly was not. So I think kind of similar. I just kind of cruised through high school, except for I was very depressed, and no one knew.
That's true. I didn't know. I had no idea.
But we can talk about that.
Yeah, that's another story.
Okay. I guess it kind of answers some of my questions. Is because there's so many. We want to also talk about stereotypes today, and I guess generally Asian stereotypes. So I guess like my first question is, how are your math marks?
Let's not talk about that. Okay, I do like math, and I like numbers, but they just get so messed up in my head when it gets to a certain level. Like, I think I only got up to grade 12 math, whatever that is.
Like, did you do
And I was
pre-calc or foundation?
Pre-calc, yeah. And I was like, good.
Randy, how about you?
Math, I think like kind of up to a certain point. I was really good at math actually. Up to a certain point, I was like, okay, calm down. But like up to a certain point, that's like once it got to calculus, I was like, what's going on? Like this is pretty confusing. It's like, what is x? What does that mean? And it's like variables.
That was pre-calc.
Well, yeah, it's like or like more like graphing stuff too. And I sort of had like trouble with that, and then my math wasn't that great. But
is it because of your gaming?
Yeah, honestly, probably. I mean, I ended up having to take like more advanced math in like university, anyways, for my degrry. So then I had to take like upper level maths and stuff like that.
So what was the highest level you have?
Yeah, what's the highest?
I'm curious.
I don't remember what it's called. It's like some sort of calculus. I don't remember now, but I mean, I failed a bunch before that. So
that is a very common thing that happens to a lot of students. I think people don't talk about it a lot. University is very different field.
It is totally different. Like I took physics 12, and then I had to take like a similar level in college, and it was totally different. I was so confused. I was like, it's the same stuff, it sounds like, but you do things so differently.
You can't miss a star.
Yeah. maybe that's
Come
why.
on, guys.
You guys.
You guys. I think it was all similar. Like, I was pretty good at math, like, generally. And then grade 11, 12, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't, like, didn't come easily to me. Like, I did have to, like, work hard towards it. So I did well in the classes, but I don't really call myself a math person.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, so I guess, like, all my other Asian friends in my classes were, like, oh, high 90s. And then I was like, okay, got an A. I'm good.
As long as I pass.
Like, oh, my gosh. Okay, for me, like, when I actually thought about that stereotype a lot, like, when I was growing up, because a lot of people would just comment those things. Like, some of my friends would be like, oh, you're good at math. I'm like, oh, I'm okay at math, but, like, just because I'm Asian doesn't mean I'm good at math. And I know that my parents were pretty, like, I mean, the fact that they were like, go ahead, do music is already a different, what's it called? Different mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I remember like feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do this math. I'm so stupid.
I'm a failure as an Asian. I know for me, it's just like in high school, I also did not care as much about grades. Like, I don't remember ever doing homework. I don't know how I passed.
Oh.
I was not super, like, motivated to, I don't know. I still passed.
Wait. Okay, because I'm thinking about high school too. I don't remember doing that much homework.
Right? So I don't know.
Well, maybe we just got it done in class, maybe?
Oh, maybe, because they do give you time.
Oh, no, wait. Catherine and I were in the same biology class.
And chemistry.
And chemistry. It was a gong show. Like, we could never be beside each other. And I remember chemistry, Catherine and I would be doing the labs together and just being, like, what happened?
Oh, no.
Just doing the labs. That's funny.
And I remember, like, Catherine and I would, like, do homework together and get the same answers, and then sometimes I would just get it wrong. Do you remember that? And be like, what the heck? I did it with her. Like, I just felt like the chemistry teacher hated me.
Yeah, we were just those kids sitting in the back of the class, like, not doing any work.
That's pretty funny.
Wait, but then I remember biology 12. We were drawing penises and it's like sperm, and then Catherine just like turned around and was like, nice sperm. I was like,
It was really big.
Oh my god.
Like, I was like, why is it so large?
That's pretty funny.
Randy, I feel like if we went to the same high school, it would be the same thing.
It'd be so
I
funny.
think it would be a gong show.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Did your parents ever really like talk about academics, like in terms of like what they expected you to get?
Was there pressure to get straight A's?
For me, not really any pressure to get like straight A's, as long as they were like pretty good and it's like not like C's or below, I guess.
That's good.
It's like kind of a rough standard. Once I got into university, it was like as long as I passed, I'm happy.
I feel like that's a standard for university. Like, just pass.
I just want to pass.
Just get through it.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have too much pressure either.
Really.
Sometimes I wonder, like, would I have done better if I did have that pressure?
Well, I did.
Oh.
I guess the difference is that, so my parents had a very smart, very intelligent child prodigy first child that kind of set the expectation for the rest of us to like reach. So like Matthew was a straight A student pretty much. And so like by the time it got to me, and although I was the youngest, Daniel and Silas didn't do that well at school. So like when I came along and I did well, they're like, oh my gosh, a miracle. And for me, I think I've always wanted to do well, so like that was kind of in my mindset anyways. But like I remember being like, oh my gosh, I need to get an A, I need to get an A. But it was like just get an A, and I'm okay with that. So like even if I got like 86, I'm just like woot. And then but my parents, I know when I was younger, my mom would like be disappointed if I got a B in my report card. She'd be like, you could have did better or whatever. But so like I remember feeling pressure, but it wasn't like to the extremist I know some of my other friends had to go through, or like other stereotypical Asian families like being like you need to get A pluses and whatever. So that's kind of nice. Like it was strict, but also because I also didn't do well, I think I just automatically seemed better.
Way to throw them under the bus.
They know. But then when I got to university, I think my parents didn't ask at all. Like they didn't ask about my grades. They just like, okay, just finish your degree and whatever. But I remember being like myself. I'm like, oh, I need to get like A's. But it was kind of more self pressure rather than my parents in university.
Yeah. What other stereotypes are there? I have a few. An Asian stereotype that we're all cheap.
Oh.
Frugal.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I do agree.
Yeah.
In what ways do you think that you're quote unquote cheap?
Okay. So when I go into a clothing store, I go straight to the sale rack. Like I don't even look at the other clothes. Like I'm just like too expensive. Go to the sale rack, find a good find. Like that's that's an example, anyways.
Ready?
For me, I think it's like 100%. It comes from like my parents and just sort of the background they came from, because they were like, I think they're like sort of growing up, their upbringing wasn't like, they weren't like super fortunate, I guess, in terms of like having money and stuff like that. So sort of like grew up sort of trying to like save monies in like any ways that they could, and so I sort of adopted that mindset, I guess. It's like whenever we go out to eat somewhere or something, it's like, oh, okay, I'll just have like this. It's like not too expensive, but like now sort of they've kind of gone like a little bit past that, I guess. It's like if you want to spend money on something that's nice, then you should go for it if it makes you like happy or whatnot. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I think my parents are similar. Like I think like my dad's family wasn't the wealthiest, but my mom's family did have like a period of time where they were pretty wealthy, and so they owned their own restaurant. They had a lot of money, but my mom said I was rich until I married your dad. And then because she just stopped working at the restaurant, right? And so actually when they moved here, they didn't really have a lot, and then it was a one income family until I was born, I think. And so then I'm thinking like my mom had 4 boys and like house mortgage to pay and all those things, and so I think that's why they were pretty cheap, like from since I was young, like ever since I was young.
That's interesting. Do you guys? This just popped into my head, but do you guys save your plastic bags that you get from the grocery store? I don't know why that came to mind when I thought cheap, but you said like a collection of plastic bags.
I've seen those people that had those like lady bag holders, where they just stuff the plastic bags into the cloth bag lady. Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself like, because we're all working now, do you still find yourself like thinking in that mentality of like cheaper? Like, does that make sense?
Yes, but also no.
Okay.
Yes, in that like it's good, like it's smart to be cheap and save money, but also no in the fact that I'm making money now, so I can spend more.
Yeah,
because my adult money.
Oh, you Randy?
I'd say it's more like not so much like being cheap, but it's like trying to get the most value of what you're paying for, right? So it's like, oh, I'm looking at this thing. Hey, it's like pretty good, but look at the price. It's like pretty expensive for what you're getting at in comparison to like something else, which might be just as good, maybe like a little bit worse, but like a lot cheaper. So
that's
I don't know.
Smart.
Yeah,
very practical.
Yeah, I think I'm similar, but I think like I know I was only around this year and last year, I think, where I learned like how to treat myself. Does that make sense? Like I think a lot of times, like even when I first moved to Vancouver, it was always like, this is the budget I have for food, or this is the budget I have for groceries, and then the rest I need to save. But then like I think last year when like pandemic, no, was it 2020? Like 2020, beginning of 2021, like I remember being like, no, it's okay for me to like buy something for myself, or it's okay for me to go out and eat. Like I remember like even buying clothes, like even though they're from the sale rack, like I remember having to be like, it's okay, like you're making money, it's okay. And I had to have a pep talk every time,
like to convince yourself to like buy stuff.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Huh.
I just feel like, because like my parents, you know, similar to Randy's parents, like when they first had a family was tough, right? And they didn't really have a lot of money to spend. So like Ashley saw us and I got all the hand-me-downs. Like we didn't get toys, all those things. We talked about this before. So I think for me, it's like, I don't think I deserve to get something to myself. I think that's probably where my mind is thinking. And then I feel bad for spending money on myself. But I feel fine spending money on other people. Yeah.
Interesting. You'll get there. You'll be spending money on yourself like left, right, and center.
Oh my gosh. Like I think if I made even I think a little bit more money, I think I'd be a little more comfortable doing that. But like even if it's like, let's say I only have $500 in my bank, and then like, you know, my family member needs something, no questions, I'll just get it for them.
Yeah.
But if it's like, to me, it's like, oh, I have some extra money. Nah, like, you know, yeah. I think it just comes from like childhood and how I saw my parents and stuff.
Yeah.
Do your parents ever like? This is a common phrase I hear a lot. It's like, you have food at home.
Not as much now, actually. But when I was younger, yes. It was always like, oh, can we get like McDonald's or something? And it was like, no, there's food at home. And I was like, oh.
My dad's always like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Papa
getting anything, though. It's like, oh, hey, guys, we need like a new like rice cooker. And my dad's like, no, we can use our old one. It works fine. I can just fix it. And he's like, no, it's really bad. It's like, he just will refuse to.
I like the Papa Joe voice.
Unless it's like cheap. But yeah, that's my impression of him. Pretty bad impression, but.
So my dad is the same way. Or he's like, we have one at home, or like, or he would love to do jokes like, hey Dad, I really want an Xbox, so he just get a box and draw an X on it.
He would.
Yeah. He's like, here you go.
He would.
Like, I hate you. Or like, he would always kind of say like, why? So the one thing I know my dad does is that he likes to hoard things. So this one time we had 3 humidifiers because like 2 people gave it to us, And two of them were downstairs. I'm like, Dad, why do we have this? Like, oh, just in case. My dad, you haven't used it in the last 3 years. Like, I'm gonna get rid of it. But I think for him, it's just like having materialistic things or like possessions is like rare for him, and so I think he just wants to keep it, right? But my mom is somebody who's like loves new things. She loves like brand new anything, and so she would just like kind of she would buy something and then sometimes not use it again. Like she loves like that, and my dad would just use what she bought, but then it's kind of this weird like she spends and then he hoards and it's just like
so much stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's funny that like we have food at home thing. I find as I'm getting older, I'm doing that to myself.
Really?
I'll be like, oh, I should get some food. And I'll be like, wait, no, I have food at home.
Yeah, same. I always think, I have some things in the freezer.
Right. I should finish my leftovers.
Oh, I have an air fryer. I can just fry up some fries. What? Okay. This is an adult life now.
Are we becoming our parents? Maybe.
I'm okay. You know what? To be honest, like I'm glad that I have that mentality because then I at least think about my money rather than like I'm just gonna buy everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It would have been a very bad situation because I mean Vancouver, there's a lot of good food over there. I live like on a very, very like popular street that has a lot of food places that I see all on TikTok and like Instagram and stuff. So I can imagine being broke.
Yeah, and Vancouver's not cheap either.
Vancouver's not cheap
in general.
Like rent.
Yeah.
I mean, Victoria's pretty similar though. I hear.
It's getting there.
The food scene isn't as good though, so it's not as tempting.
Yep.
That's true. The thing that the latest open restaurant is like Denny's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like about it.
That's it.
What else is there? And
Wanna Waffle.
What?
Really?
They used to be open really late. I don't know if they still are.
Oh, that was the place downtown.
Downtown. Yeah.
Huh.
This fountain that's open to like 1.
Oh.
It's interesting for like a Chinese food place here.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad. I remember when As Usual was open till like 11.
That was nice.
Did they close earlier now?
Close at 9. They don't do it after 9. They used to do it after 9 half off.
I miss that.
I miss that.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so I think it's a good thing that my parents taught me that way. I'll be very broke. If you're someone like me and like to see people interact, make sure to check out our YouTube channel where you can find the video versions of our podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification. RiceWashed would love to hear from you. Make sure you comment on our YouTube, our TikTok, or our Instagram posts to let us know what topics you would like us to discuss, or maybe even games or challenges you want us to play. Stereotypes.
Oh, I have more. They assume that all Asians know how to play piano.
Oh.
Do you know how to play piano already?
Nope. No, he doesn't know how to play piano.
Did you ever have to play piano? Or any instrument?
Fun fact, Caleb taught me piano.
Caleb taught him piano. Yeah.
For how long?
It was like a few days. So I don't remember how to play it. But
yeah, I played for maybe like a year when I was like 5. And then I was like, I don't like this. And then I stopped.
I played too long. Well, I'm a music teacher, so I guess it kind of helped in the end. You know what's funny? Funny enough, because I know, Randy, you didn't do music growing up.
Nope.
And Randy actually joined our choir and like actually learned how to sing and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, Randy, it's not easy, dude. And he learned how to play the drums too.
Yeah.
It's just me just saying how good Randy is. Yeah, like literally, I think most of my Asian friends they all have to play piano, and then either they quit or they played to a certain like pretty good level, and then they stopped. But what really bothers me are like people who like. I think I only heard it from Asians who are like, "You're doing music? That's so easy."
What? People say this?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're doing singing? Oh, that's so easy." And I was like,
these are the people that have never sung in their life.
No, like even like when Matthew was in school, when Matthew did his piano, people were just like, "Oh, that must be so easy." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's
Interesting.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no. So
Wow.
those people, try it. Have fun.
Goodness.
Just be like, think of it as like you have all these like history and theory side of like musical knowledge that you need to learn, plus the amount of hours you have to practice every day, to all the performances, to like, it's insane. Like you don't really get weekends. Like, I mean, that's me right now, but like, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was very tough.
I mean, I watched our friend's, high season, her performance that you do at the end.
Yeah.
I was absolutely like amazed at how she remembered all that. It was like an hour.
An hour and a half.
She played straight for an hour, and I was sitting there like,
wow,
how? And it was like complicated stuff too.
You gotta remember, like our teachers and professors were so good. Like they had years of experience, so their expectations of us are like pretty high, right?
Yeah.
And on top of your own personal performances, you have to do ensemble work too. So you have to be in a choir or another group. So like, think about, so let's say we would have classes from like 8 to 3 and rehearsals from 4 to 10, basically.
Oh my goodness.
And then think about when you practice, like in between the times. And you have to like, you have juries, so like exams, you have performances, you have your lessons every week. So you have to like practice for your lesson or else they kill you. Not physically, but emotionally. And like, because then you fall behind, then you still have to work towards your jury or your exam.
That's stressful. That's
Yeah.
so stressful.
Yeah.
Too intensive for me.
I mean, I mean, we did choir. Like,
Yeah.
Wasn't to that extent.
but like, okay, that's what I always tell people is that I was pretty amazed that we put concerts together in like 2 months.
Like, yeah, literally, like,
Yeah,
we had a lot
actually,
of
though.
time, but we really, like, crunched it in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're
I mean,
pretty good.
usually we would do it all the way till like April, which is like Easter season, and then we would like be like May, June, July. I guess 3 months, and then the concert. Like, and it's like 2 hour long concerts. Like, it wasn't the easiest. So to be honest, like, you guys have it in you.
It's there.
Okay, we're all auditioned together to the school of music in UVic.
Oh, no.
At the start of a stereotype.
Yeah.
All Asians can't drive.
That's on my list. I was going to say that.
Drive.
I can drive just fine. I hit curbs sometimes.
So I think I've seen all three of us. I haven't seen myself drive, but I've been in your cars and you guys are fine drivers. I'm not worried about it. Like the example of that, like bad or Asians can't drive, is like Richmond.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Like every time I go into Richmond, I pray.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
I feel like every time I go into Richmond, I feel like I'm gonna get hit,
Yeah. That's not
even as a
horrible.
pedestrian.
It's
Yeah.
scarier as a pedestrian.
Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
red light. Woo!
Yeah.
But I do. My driving does change when I'm on the highway and someone
Okay.
passes me when I'm in the van.
The rage.
In the van.
Specifically the Poon
In
van.
the van.
Because I'm like, I'm a bigger vehicle. I'm probably carrying children or people in my car, and you pass me. And then like my mom and dad's like driving genes, like street racing genes, just kind of start building up, and then I have to hold myself back.
That's pretty funny.
Let's do this.
Can't
I've been in the
control
car with him.
It's like this happened. I remember one time we went to Tofino, and I remember we were on the highway. I remember we were turning this corner, and this truck was turning real quick. You were in the car, right?
I
And
was
we almost
in the car too.
You were there.
It was
Yeah.
scary,
and we almost got
man.
hit, and I just started like, I wanted to just like turn around, but like,
Because the roads to Tofino back then, they were so narrow. And there are these
Yeah.
like crazy hairpin turns, so there's like no room when you're turning. And this truck goes,
why is it called a hairpin turn?
like hairpins, like,
Ye-
you know, the end of a hairpin? Yeah.
The shape.
Yeah.
I just remember just like we all screamed because we were like,
Yeah.
we just turned the corner and this giant truck decided to like really quickly, and we all freaked out, and we like, it was so narrow. We were like pretty much right where the railing was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was there even railing? I
Yeah,
don't
there
remember there being a railing.
Yeah, there-
That's why I
yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah.
There was a railing, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Can you
Okay.
imagine?
Yeah. That's why he freaked out. I was like, "There's no railing." I guess you guys.
I think Christina was sleeping. She took a gravel.
Took
and
too much
passed
gravel
out.
and passed out.
Oh yeah.
The rest of us
That's
like
funny.
Louise was awake and Jason was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun. Good
but
times.
so far, most of the Asians I know can drive. I know like a couple of friends or friends' parents that are kind of dangerous, but other than that, I don't.
I do drive better when there's other people in the car.
Same.
That makes sense. Actually.
Yeah.
Actually, my family says that I brought my Vancouver driving to Victoria. Usually in Victoria, there's like if you're like waiting to turn left turn and like a light, usually like one car goes, but Vancouver is like 3.
Oh.
And so when I'm in there, I'm like, wow. Oops.
Oopsie.
That's scary.
Any other stereotypes that people talk about?
I have. They all know some sort of martial arts.
Okay.
Did you
You
guys
do.
ever do?
You do?
I did. I did taekwondo and karate. I didn't get very far though. I got to yellow belt, so that's like
Okay.
not really.
What
like,
what is that?
Still
What?
pretty cool.
it goes white yellow, and I think I had a couple stripes because there was like a stripe system. So I had like 1 or 2
I
on
thought
the yellow belt.
I thought it'd be like, what was the first one? White.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it'd be like white, like red, orange, like
No,
yellow, and I was
it's
like, oh,
the
never
second
mind.
one. It goes like white, yellow. Oh no, orange, blue, green, brown, black, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I just didn't like fighting people.
Mm.
You had to like spar against people sometimes, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that.
sorry.
It's fun though.
Did you do martial arts, Maddie?
Nope. Didn't do any of that. I mean, I was like forced to do like wrestling in school though.
Oh yeah.
I hated that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like in middle school though. It was yeah.
I always
I
thought wrestling was
hated
kinda
that.
weird.
I hated that.
It's too much touching.
There's a lot
Yep.
of touching.
It's too
I was
much
really
touching.
uncomfortable, and I was like the smallest guy too. So
That's
I'm
the
thinking,
thing,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna get crushed, man. Like I can't fight this guy.
No, I just want to see Ronnie just like completely wreck like a
He was-
huge dude. Just
yeah.
like, can you imagine he knew like karate? He just
That's honestly a
Pretty fun.
goal.
Pretty cool.
Like, just to
Not gonna
flip
lie.
somebody.
Yeah.
We did wrestling in elementary school, and I was surprisingly good. I was a child,
Yeah.
and I had like no fear though. Now I'm just like, ooh, don't touch me.
maybe Catherine is like, maybe Catherine has the most potential of the 3
As a
of us.
wrestler,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the advantage of being small is that you can like squirm out of stuff
that's true.
really
You're
easily.
nimble.
I was
And
the
like people are like slow.
So you're saying Josh?
I
But
Well,
Josh
Josh
be a
has,
bad
has a
wrestler.
strength, I think. Josh has that.
what strength
power.
is that, Randy?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
You're
was
bigger
a-
than me. I wouldn't know.
Get it? I'm big. I was a pretty chubby child, so I don't think I could have squirmed. I could have like screaming or something.
I want to see you guys do wrestling. That would be so fun to watch.
Okay, I can get pretty aggressive though.
Mhm.
Randy's like, yeah.
He's like,
You see
yeah.
me play sports.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be like I would enjoy it, but also I feel bad when I hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's one time in middle school, we're playing field hockey, and I was really bad at it. And I kept hitting people's shins, like not like lightly, like I was literally
Oh.
trying to hit the ball as hard as I can, and I would just
Oh,
bruise
Field
everybody's
hockey
shins.
sticks are
Yeah. And then one, so then so we had to put all the balls away, and my teacher was like, "Josh, you can, I think scoop. You can scoop the ball up and put it into the bucket." I'm like, "I don't think I can." He's like, "Yeah, you can." And I scooped it, and I hit his nose. I broke his nose.
with the
No.
stick.
No, with the ball.
No.
I just went like scoop, broke his nose, and it fell into the bucket. It fell into the bucket.
He broke his nose.
I broke his nose.
Well, he was right. You can do it.
I
He
can't
broke
do
his
it.
nose in the process.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I'm actually a lot stronger than I think I am.
I see. Wow.
The poor teacher's nose.
I broke his nose. You, Mr.
Oh.
Arnett? Hi.
Sorry.
You were such a good teacher. He taught me how to play Ultimate really well. Wait, before we move on, so has there always been a martial arts that you always wanted to do or wanted to be good at or try?
What other kinds are there?
I wanted to do it with the legs. Is that
What?
taekwondo?
Wait, what?
That's one that uses like
just
generally legs.
Yeah, I think that's taekwondo.
Do you remember that guy in what's that game?
Bullfighter?
Yeah, no,
No.
Street Fighter. No, was it
Street Fighter?
No.
Oh.
Tekken.
Like capoeira or whatever?
The guy. No,
Oh,
the guy who's.
capoeira.
Wait,
Capoeira,
no.
where you're just like.
Yeah,
I need
you
to
like-
show this.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Capoeira is cool, yeah.
It's really cool.
Watching this on YouTube, the guy who stands
Yeah, that's
a
capoeira,
stance.
I
That's
think.
the
Yeah.
stance.
I only know that's a thing from Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
It's a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
I was
That's
like, what are you
funny.
talking
I'm
about?
like, Bob's Burgers.
Please watch that on YouTube with me just being like,
It's funny.
that was one I've always wanted
pretty cool.
wanted to try.
What else is there? There's kendo. Kendo looks pretty cool, actually.
We have 2 kendo sticks.
Kender's cool.
You have kendo sticks?
We have kendo sticks.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you want to
we
hear the
do.
story and how salty I am about the sticks?
What do you have kendo
What is
sticks?
the story?
We went to the Richmond Night Market when I was a kid, and this is kind of still a point where my parents are like, "Oh, don't like buy too much stuff, or we can't really buy too much whatever." Sometimes the mic doesn't work. I don't know what's happening. Okay, sorry. And so we were walking around, and my mom was like, "Oh, I was with my mom." So I was with my mom. My brothers were with my dad. I was walking with my mom. I'm like, "Oh, Mom, look, it's Naruto puzzle." And I was really into Naruto back then. So I bought this puzzle. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a puzzle. I'm so happy. A present, a gift, because we never really bought stuff. And then I go back, and my dad bought Daniel and Sal's kendo sticks. Like, literally, I have it upstairs. I can show you later. Literally a kendo stick. And I just was like, stood there being like, what? And my dad was like, oh, yeah, look what. And he saw me with the puzzle. He's like, oh.
Wait, so did they ever do kendo?
No.
Oh.
That feels bad.
So I got this puzzle, which was missing a piece.
Mm.
I'm still salty about it. To this day, I'm still so
So
salty
sad.
about it.
I think we should all take a martial arts class together. It'd be really fun.
I feel like all our knees would die.
That's fine. It'd still be fun.
It could be fun.
What else is there? There's this one called Wing Chun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
That one's interesting.
yeah.
It's very like with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, chicken.
Ryan, is there one you wanted to do?
I think Muay Thai is pretty cool.
Is that the one that's kind of like MMA?
Yeah.
It's very like hands-on.
Well, kind of.
Kind
It's a lot of like kicks, I think, from what I know. But the training's like super intensive.
Well, I can imagine.
It's crazy.
I just want to know martial arts so I can defend myself
Yeah, that'd be
against
cool.
somebody. Because
Mhm.
like, if someone were to attack me right now, I don't think I would not do well.
I think judo's really good for that,
I
actually.
was gonna say you have height.
There's more of me to hit.
Well,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, bigger hitbox.
It's a bigger target.
I know I have like the love handles too. I know there's more of me to love, but also there's more of me to hit. That's not a good thing. Like if we were to see the 3 of us walking and be, oh look, the tall guy, they could literally throw a stick and hit me. More chances of hitting me than you two.
But they could just
I
like
guess
pick us
so.
up and run away.
Yeah,
It's like,
Boop.
that's scary.
that is really scary. Actually, let's not talk about this.
Don't encourage people.
What's another? Is there any other stereotypes you have on your phone, Kevin?
I think that's it. Let me see.
Ryan, you can think of any
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some.
stereotypes?
I was trying to Google it, and there wasn't like a whole lot that I could find.
Oh, this is okay. This is more, I think, race though, like more on the topic about race, because I know that a lot of people think everybody's Chinese. We talked about this with Rosanna, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of people always assume someone's Chinese.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Do you get Chinese? People generally say that you're Chinese when they first.
I
meet you.
think they either think I'm Chinese or they think I'm Korean because of my last name. Cho?
Oh wait,
Yeah. I don't think I look
Cho,
Korean,
yeah.
but it's like if they see my name on like paper or something.
That
like,
makes sense.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Oh, are you Korean?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I'm not Korean. I get that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Flicks his perm.
Flex my perm. But even in high school, even when I didn't have it, people thought. I think it's also because of my last name.
I didn't know that
Mm,
Poon was also Korean.
It is not.
Oh,
it's, no,
Wait,
no.
what?
But I think it sounds like other Korean last names, because there's Kun, there's Ku, there's Moon.
okay,
all those
okay,
things.
yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in our school we had the multi-purpose room, which is where all the international Asians hung out. And so every time I would go in, not every time, once in a while, people would just start speaking Korean to me, and I'd be like, "Annyeong."
Annyeong.
And then just leave. Back out slowly.
Back away slowly.
Yeah.
I know. I always get Chinese, and then I worked at that grocery store. You did too.
Oh yeah, you did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about our working experiences with Rosanna next time.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not Chinese. Just so you're aware.
I'm not Korean. Randy's not Korean.
No.
And Catherine's not Filipino. Wait.
I am.
Wait, what?
Wait, I am.
Whoa, hold on.
I was like, wait, what? Having an existential crisis over here now.
No.
Sorry, say that again. Josh is not Korean. Randy is not Korean. Catherine is not Chinese.
That's right.
I'm so sorry, Catherine.
I was like, wait, I'm not.
Catherine leaves the podcast. Has an identity crisis.
What am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? But yeah, I think that's everything for today's podcast episode. Randy, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it was fun. Got to talk about some cool stuff and learn more.
I learned a lot about Randy.
So did I.
Yeah.
I did not know about your high school experience.
Yeah.
I was part of the reason why Randy didn't.
Oh, no, I mean, I was just lazy.
I encouraged a lot of gaming back then.
Yeah.
How can you say no to me?
He still passed, though.
I'm still
Tell
pissed.
them
I'm
that.
still
my
here.
1%. Randy has a degree
Yeah, I have a degree now.
and he's working. So, kids, if
can
you
do it.
fail, almost fail, it's fine.
You can still get a degree and work. Prime example.
But please do well.
Yes.
Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Want to support our podcast in a different way? We have a Patreon. You can become a patron at patreon.com/RiceWashed Podcast. We would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to our 2 patrons, Young and Aaron. We really appreciate you guys for all your support. If you can't support us financially, just make sure you share our podcast to your friends and family. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week.